A scripture reading this morning is taken from the book of Mark, 6th chapter, first through the 6th verse. And it speaks about Jesus teaching in the temple or the synagogue. And he went out from thence and came into his own country, and his disciples followed. Now, this scripture can be interpreted that he went out from where he was in the temple or the synagogue and came into his own country, and his disciples followed. Coming into his own country, metaphysically and spiritual meaning, he came into his own consciousness after speaking to the outer or in the temple, speaking to the minds of men or those that were gathered. When he left out from the temples of teaching, he came into his own country, his own consciousness, his own way of knowing, and his disciples followed him. And sometime later on, we will discuss disciples. When you get into that spiritual understanding, disciples basically, as we know it from the outer world, his outer followers, physical beings. But in the very depths of spiritual understanding, disciples are the thoughts that follow the consciousness that was in the man Jesus. That spiritual state of consciousness, all of the seemingly worldly thoughts fell in line, followed that higher state of consciousness that is within each and every one of us when we make the commitment to follow the path of spiritual growth and unfoldment. And when the Sabbath day was come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, "From whence hath this man these things? And what wisdom is this which is given unto him, that even such mighty works are wrought by his hand?" Now, what we have to know and understand about this passage is that, as it said, on the Sabbath day, well, in old times, the Sabbath day meant that you didn't do any work. You didn't do nothing. But here Jesus was teaching in the synagogue. And the scripture states that many heard him. I want you to understand this. They was astonished. They didn't know where he had gotten this knowledge. How was he able to speak on these things? How was he able to do such mighty works? Well, people were looking at the outer man. They were not looking or had understanding of the power that was within him, of this great I am, God consciousness working in and through him. To those that were present, Jesus was just an ordinary man. Did not see or recognize him as being the Son of God, which we all are, sons and daughters. And still many to this day do not recognize that we are all sons and daughters of the one God. And so scripture goes on and it states that They were saying, is not this the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and of Judea and Simon? Are not his sisters here with us? And they were offended. Who is this? We know him from being of a certain place, and we know his mothers and his brothers and his sisters. Well, who is this guy that dare come and speak to us in such a way? But Jesus said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, but in his own country and amongst his own kin and in his own house. We want to stop right there and just dwell on that for a moment. Jesus was saying that he was accepted everywhere he went. They accepted his teachings, except for in his own country or in his own state where he was born, amongst his own kin, his own household didn't accept him. You're nobody special. You're one of us. So they didn't recognize him as being the Son of God. Because they knew him when he was a little bitty baby running around, working with his father, trying to make a living. There was nothing special about him. He was like everybody else. And now all of a sudden you come and try to tell us how we should live? You come and tell us about a God that we have known for years and years and years, long before you came into the world? But the God they knew and the God they worshiped was not the same God that Jesus taught about, not the God that Jesus knew. You see, they worship God from their mind and not from their hearts. And so scripture goes on to state that he could there do no mighty works, save that he laid his hands upon a few sick folks and healed them. And he marveled because of their unbelief. You see, he couldn't do the work. He could do the work. He could do. He could use to demonstrate the power that he had within him. But the people, because of their unbelief, did not accept it. And so he went about the villages teaching. And see, when it talks about the village, these are the, as they call, the common people, those that could not afford to enter into the temples or the synagogue. They were not dressed, didn't have the monies that were required to give unto the church. So the villagers stayed home. And this is where Jesus went, to the poor, the downtrodden, to those that were willing to listen to something that would lift them up out of the conditions that they were living. Many of us this day in the church. We listen to teachings or sermons and a whole host of things. But we have not learned to listen from the depths of our hearts. We listen to a whole lot of stuff out here, but we don't listen to what's being said in here. Now I'm going to say something here. I'm going to step on some toes, some shoes. I'm going to step on some people's that they say down home. I'm going to step on some folks' feelings. But that's all right. Because if you have to know, a lot of times truth can be a little bit painful. But my purpose is to wake you up. My purpose is to wake you up so that you will know the truth. And as it said, the truth will make you free. There are many folks that think, believe, and accepted the fact that when they die, they're going to heaven. And that's what they live for. That one day they will die and go to heaven. But do you know and realize what it is that you are denying yourself right now? Heaven is a state of consciousness. Is it not said, taught in the Bible, when the teachers said, the kingdom is within you, right where you are right now, while you're in a body of flesh and blood? The kingdom is right there within you. Or how come you're looking to something that you're expecting to take place after you're dead and gone? You are and you have limit your peace, your joy, your harmony, your happiness, your prosperity and success. Because you're looking forward to something in the future. And if you have any understanding, the future for you and I in reality never comes. It never happens. It's a way that man has divided time, past, present, and the future. And if you spend your life living in the future for something that will not ever come, you'll miss out on the beauty and the happiness and the joy of living in the present. Everything that happens to you and to I, to every form of life, it happens in the present. And how we rob ourselves of the beauty of life by constantly living or trying to live in the present and the future and denying the life that we have right here in the present. You see, we can say that tomorrow is the present, But when we wake up and experience tomorrow, it will be in the present and not in the future. And get these words together there now. We're always living in the present. Every moment of your life is being lived in the present. We look forward to what the future will bring or could bring. But we build on our future by what it is that we do in the present. And when we get to that so called future time, it will still be in the present. Every day of our lives, we have to live, function, and operate in the present. I also want to bring to your attention about those that do not believe. And I want to speak to you about my personal life in a sense. When I came upon this path of spiritual growth and unfoldment, because I have shared this story many times, I started searching for God at a very young age, searching outside of myself, because I was taught and raised to believe that God existed outside of me. Go to church, you'll find God. Read this book, you'll find God. Listen to this sermon, you'll find God. All of those things that I were taught and told to do existed outside of me. I was never taught and told that God that I was seeking was always within me. And you know how it is that we go to places, we go into certain church, and they're teaching a certain thing doesn't resonate with us. We don't feel comfortable. We don't feel like this is the right place. So we go somewhere else and we keep going and we keep going and we keep going. We keep looking and we keep searching. That was me. That was me. And after all my running and looking and searching, I came back to where I had started, right within me, where God has always been. And oh, how we overlook this truth. Looking, searching, running, never finding that which has always been within us. Because we're always looking outside of ourselves. And yes, I know that there will be many that cannot accept and will not accept the fact or the truth that God is the very essence of that which they are within them. And so you will find that there are a lot of times that the family, friends, and loved ones that you've known, when you've turned away from the tradition or what all have believed to find your own way, you're excommunicated. Don't have anything to do with him because he believed this. We don't believe that, so he can't be a part of it. This I know from experience. You see, God calls us all, but only a few will listen and follow. Because when we have been duped and subdued by the things of the world and the promises, being led down a dead end street. And even Jesus said in his teachings, he marveled at the people that because of their unbeliefs. They saw the demonstration, they heard the teaching, but they did not believe that such a man could possess such power, such knowledge and wisdom. So they didn't accept, they didn't believe, and there was very little that Jesus could do. Brothers and sisters, I say to you this morning, open up your minds and hearts to the truth of that which you are. The kingdom of heaven is right where you are. And if the kingdom of heaven is right where you are within you, so is God. When you're looking outside of yourself for your good, you're looking to man for your good. You're not looking to God. You're looking away from God. And if you're looking away from your God, you have disconnected yourself from the good that is within you. Many have come and gone, and there's many amongst us that are doing and demonstrating the things as Jesus did. And they are the ones that have found that inner place, entered into that inner kingdom within them. So much you and I. If not in this lifetime, we will have to come back and continue and do it over and over and over until we reach that state of awareness or consciousness where we know the truth of that which we are. I am manifesting and expressing in and through a physical body. It was the Christ in the man Jesus. And that Christ consciousness that was in the man Jesus is also the Christ consciousness within you and I. And all that the scripture speaks about in the demonstrations of Jesus, you and I can do also when we bring forth the great I am that is within us. You need not seek to the world for your good, for your good has always been within you. Let go of your unbeliefs, turn within, and acknowledge the great I am, Christ consciousness that you are. God bless. Namaste.